ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। वक्रतुंड महाकाय कोटिसूर्यसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री पतञ्जलये नमः। योगेन चित्तस्य पदेन वाचां मलं शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन योपाकरोत्तं प्रवरं मुनीनां पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मि। आबाहुपुरुषाकारं शङ्खचक्रासिधारणं सहस्रशिरसं श्वेतं प्रणमामि पतञ्जलिं प्रणमामि पतञ्जलिं प्रणमामि पतञ्जलिम्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Namaste. This is Dr. Neil Kulkarni, adhiyoga.com, adhiyoga.com. This is a series of lectures called Study of Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. This is 6th lecture and it will describe the 5th chapter of my book Patanjali Code. In order to understand this lecture, please refer to the first 5 videos called Patanjali Code 1 to 5. They are also on the YouTube. This is a summary study of Yoga Sutras, and they are broadcast Facebook Live and they are free of charge. There is another study which is detailed study of 50 lectures. You can join that with a payment. So today we go to the 5th chapter. So far we explained what the Chitta is, what's the purpose of the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, and we described that it is meant for total removal of sorrow from human life. In the last lecture we described the nature of that sorrow. In this chapter we go to the next level, which is removal of sorrow. So the 5th chapter of my book is called Dukkha Nivrutti Prakaranam, removal of sorrow chapter. 551 Atha Dukkha Nivrutti Prakaranam. Now removal of sorrow section begins. 5.2 This is original Yoga Sutra 2.16. Heyam dukkhamanagatam. Heyam dukkhamanagatam. The translation is pain that has not yet actualized should be avoided. We have to understand that the result of any karma will certainly take place. Now, If the karma is bad, the result will be painful. And if the karma is good, the result will be pleasurable. However, as we saw in the yoga philosophy, all the pleasurable effects ultimately result in sorrow only. परिणाम ताप दुख संसार दुख परिणाम ताप संसार दुखैर गुणवृत्ति विरोधाच दुखमेव सर्वम विवेकिनः. So for a person who has reached a high level of discrimination by contemplating or intelligently analyzing the experiences of life, all the experiences are sorrowful only. Now, whatever the karma has taken place, the sorrow which is resulting from that cannot be avoided. Therefore, this sutra is saying, Heyam dukkham anagatam. That means the pain which has not actualized yet, the pain which has not actualized yet, that is the one which should be avoided. Heyam, that's the one which should be avoided. Now, the next sutra tells this avoidable pain. The avoidable pain or the pain which should be avoided is called heya. It is telling what is the reason why this pain is originating from. So the pain which has not actualized, that's the one should be avoided. But what is the cause of this pain? द्रष्टुदृश्ययोः संयोगो हेय हेतुः. The conjunction between drashtru, that is Purusha, and Drushya, that is knowable world, is the cause of the pain. So, this sutra is leading to the subject matter of the Yoga Sutras. The subject matter of these Yoga Sutras is removal of the sorrows of human life in totality. So, this is a sutra which is leading to that subject matter. It is telling that this pain is caused by the conjunction of Drashtru, that is Purush, and the Drushya knowable world. That means the knowable world is connected with the Drashtru, and that is why the pain is coming. As soon as this junction is severed, then the pain will disappear. So what it means is that Drashtru, which came in contact with the Moola Prakriti, has given rise to the further evolution of the Moola Prakriti into Mahat and later into Ahankar and then later into body-mind complex and also the external objective world. So this is caused because of Purusha joining with Moola Prakriti. Now this Moola Prakriti has resulted into the knowable world, but the knowable world is connected to the Purusha. That means Purusha is experiencing this knowable world because the perceptions are coming and are passed through Mahat to the Purusha. As soon as there are no perceptions left, as soon as no perception left, the Purusha will be liberated. Next sutra, 5.4. Tasya heturvidya. The original Yoga Sutras, 2.24. Tasya heturavidya. This means what is the cause of this sanyoga, which is drashtru-drishyayoho sanyogo he hetu. That is, what is the reason of this conjunction? The conjunction is the cause of the avoidable pain, or the pain should be avoided. But what is the cause of this junction itself? The junction itself is caused by the avidya. Tasya heturavidya. Now, avidya was defined earlier. Anitya shuchi dukkhanatmasu nitya shuchi sukhatmakya tiravidya. This was defined as taking the impermanent as permanent and taking the painful as pleasurable, etc. This was given in the let me see. Yes, it was given in the previous chapter, Dukkha Prakaranam. So, avidya is defined there and you can look at it there. It is 4.4. Now, what you should understand is that avidya was defined and avidya is the cause of this junction. However, the interesting thing which you should understand is avidya belongs to the mind and not to the Mula Prakriti. And avidya definitely doesn't belong to the Purush. But the mind originated due to the junction or conjunction of Purusha with Mula Prakriti. So, the previous sutra says, this sutra says, avidya, that is nescience, is the cause of the conjunction. But avidya belongs to the mind and the mind is resulting from the conjunction. So, the mind results from the conjunction and mind has the avidya. So, how is avidya the cause of the conjunction? So, there is definitely an anomaly in this process in the Yoga Sutras. Let me explain again. The sutra says that the conjunction of the Purush and Prakriti happened because of the avidya. But avidya belongs to the mind, not to the Purush or Mula Prakriti. Now, the mind came due to the conjunction of Purush and Prakriti. So, how is it possible that avidya is the cause of the conjunction? So, there is total anomaly. However, The Yoga Sutras of Patanjali are not concerned with what is correct in this case. They are more interested in total removal of the sorrow. So because they are interested in removal of the sorrow, they are interested in removal of the sorrow. Sorrow is due to the conjunction and they want to remove the conjunction, and they are saying that conjunction is due to the avidya. So if avidya is removed, conjunction is removed. Conjunction removed means the sorrow is removed. They are interested in the removal of the sorrow and not worried about whether the conjunction came first or the avidya came first. Okay, 5.5. तदभावात् संयोगा भावो हानं तदृशे कैवल्यम. This is original Yoga Sutra 2.25. तदभावात् संयोगा भावो हानं तदृशे कैवल्यम. So the translation is, when avidya is absent, avidya is said to be the cause of the conjunction. When the avidya is absent, the mix ceases to exist. Of course, if it is the cause of the conjunction, when the avidya is absent, the mix, that is the conjunction itself, will cease to exist. And as soon as the conjunction ceases to exist, the Purusha will be liberated. And this state is called Hana. Tadabhavat sanyoga bhavo hanam tadrushe kaivalyam. It is the state of kaivalya or liberation or aloneness of drashtru. 5.6. Dhyana heyas tadvrittayah. Now it is coming to the methods of removal of the sorrow. So this sutra is original 2.11. Dhyana heyas tadvrittayah. So it is telling the gross kleshas, vrittayah, tadvrittayah. Tad means the chitta. Tadvrittayah, that is gross kleshas, are removable through dhyana, that is meditation. So it is clearly saying here, gross kleshas are removable through dhyana. It doesn't say they are removable by doing yogasana or pranayama. The gross kleshas are removable through dhyana. Thus, only gross kleshas are removable through 7 limbs of Ashtanga. The 7th limb of Ashtanga Yoga, only the gross kleshas are removable. The first 6 limbs make the kleshas weak. There is no need for Kriya Yoga practice, as explained in the auxiliary section of this book. Okay. Now the gross kleshas are removable through dhyana, that is meditation. Dhyana heyas tadvrittayah. So what it means is that only gross kleshas are removable through the 7th limb of the Ashtanga Yoga. In fact, what happens is that the first 6 limbs, that is yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, these 6 limbs, they only make the kleshas weaker, weaker, weaker. In dhyana, these kleshas can be removed. Dhyana heyas tadvrittayah. Now, once the kleshas are removed, then we can attempt the samadhi state in which the liberation occurs. Now, we have to remove the all kleshas, that is gross kleshas and subtle kleshas. The subtle kleshas are removed in the further stages. So up to dhyana, that is meditation, only the gross kleshas are removed. Now what we want to know is that there is one sutra in Patanjali in the second chapter. It says tapasvadhyayeshvara pranidhanani kriya yogaha samadhi bhavanartham klesha tanukaranarthascha. That means if you do the kriya yoga, which is made up of tapas, svadhyaya and ishvara pranidhan, the kleshas are removed. But the kleshas are removed by this practice of. Therefore, there is no need of Kriya Yoga, which is stated in the second chapter. This is a comment which I am making. 5.7 Te pratiprasavaheyas sukshmaha. Now, the previous sutra said that gross kleshas can be removed by the dhyana, and up to dhyana, that is the first 6 limbs, only make the kleshas weaker and weaker, and the 7th limb, that is dhyana, removes the gross kleshas. What happens to the subtle kleshas? That is given in 5.7. Te pratiprasavaheyas sukshmaha. So subtle kleshas are removable by pratiprasava, that is resolving them into their cause. Pratiprasava means that during the evolution, starting from the Mula Prakriti, the gross world and the Indriyas, etc., are created. So, when you resolve the evolutes into the previous stage, that is called Pratiprasava. So, what needs to be done is that we have to resolve all the subtle kleshas, that is subtle vrittis, into its cause. Dhyan te pratiprasavaheya sukshmaha. So, I'll tell you the comment. The subtle kleshas can be removed only in the advanced stages of samadhi, not in the meditation. This is explained later in the Samadhi Vistar Prakaranam. There is a prakarana or section or chapter called Samadhi Vistar. That means the whole samadhi is explained there. In that, it will be told that these subtle kleshas can be removed only in the advanced stages of samadhi, not in the earlier stages of samadhi. So, pratiprasava, when it occurs, what happens is more and more sattva takes place, and due to this, purusha khyati takes place. That is, the knowledge of purusha predominates, and then we know the distinction between purush and the knowable world. So, the subtle kleshas are removed by pratiprasava. So, the kleshas are removed. Now, we talked about a stage called Hanam. Hanam means the Kaivalya of the Purush. Tadabhavat sanyoga bhavo Hanam tadrushe Kaivalyam. Which means when the conjunction of the Purush and Prakriti is removed, then the Purush gets liberated, and this is called Hana. So now, when the vrittis or kleshas are first made weaker, then they are removed in the gross form. This happens in the meditation. And then all the subtle kleshas are removed in the advanced stages of samadhi. This will be dealt in another chapter. And then when this occurs, all the kleshas or vrittis are removed. So, uh, this way all the sorrow is removed. Now, when this occurs, when the subtle kleshas are removed, that time what happens is one reaches a place where one gets, in the higher stages of samadhi, one gets realization of the Purush. So far, only the world was knowable and Purush was not knowable. So, when the subtle kleshas are removed, one gets a glimpse or realization of the Purush. And this knowledge is called Purusha Khyati. So, this liberation of the Purush from this conjunction is called as Hana, which we covered. Tadbhavat sanyoga bhavo hanam tadrushe kaivalyam, which is 5.5. Now in 5.8 it is telling you what is the means of getting to Hana. So first you have to come to know what is the Purusha. That is called Purusha Khyati. This happens due to the removal of the kleshas. First gross kleshas and then the subtle kleshas. Now it is telling, after getting Purusha Khyati, how to get the liberation of Purush, which is Hana. It is saying, Viveka Khyatira Viplava Hanopaya. The means of getting Hana is unshakable, aviplava, unshakable knowledge of the total distinction between Drashtru and Drusha. You should come to know that Drashtru and Drusha, they are totally different. This unshakable, that means this knowledge has to be permanent. This discriminative knowledge should be totally permanent, and aviplava, it should not be reversible, it should be complete. Then the Purusha will be liberated. Now, the next one is this discriminative knowledge. 7 kinds of ultimate insight. So, when this discriminative knowledge is developing, 7 kinds of ultimate insight come, and these are called prajna. So 5.9 says tasya saptata pranta bhumi prajna. 7 kinds of ultimate insight come to a yogi who has unshakable discriminative knowledge. So once reaches unshakable discriminative knowledge, that means Purush and Prakriti are different. This knowledge, when it becomes more and more solid, totally solid, then 7 kinds of ultimate insight develop. Tasya saptadha pranta bhumi prajna. Now, the last sutra of this chapter, 5.10. Yoganganusthana dashuddhikshaye jnanadiptiravivekkhyate. So, it is original sutra 2.28. It is saying, due to the ardent practice of the limbs of yoga, which are 8 limbs, yama, niyama, asana, pranayam, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. Due to the ardent practice of the limbs of yoga, the impurities of the intellect are totally removed. That means all the intellectual impurities are totally removed, and therefore enlightenment occurs. And this enlightenment gives a knowledge, discriminative knowledge to the yogi, that Purush and Prakriti, the Drishya, which is knowable world, are totally different from each other. So, just to recapitulate the entire thing in a summary form, that we want to get rid of the dukkha. The dukkha which has not come is called heya. This heya is caused by junction or conjunction of Purusha and the knowable world, Drashtu Drishya Yoho. Then the reason or cause of this conjunction is avidya, that is nescience. Now, when the avidya is removed, the conjunction is removed. As soon as the conjunction is removed, the Purusha gets liberated, which is called Kaivalya. And the state is called Hana. Now it is telling that this Hana has to occur. For that, the conjunction should be removed. Now it says that the gross kleshas are removed by meditation. It doesn't say this, but the first six limbs, the meditation is the seventh limb, dhyana. And the first six limbs only go on making the kleshas weaker and weaker. Now the last limb, which is samadhi, it's supposed to advance from one stage to another stage. So during this process, you have to resolve the elements into the previous level. This resolution is called pratiprasava. So when the pratiprasava takes place, the kleshas which are gross, not gross, subtle, are removed. Thus, by meditation, gross kleshas are removed, and the practice beyond the meditation into samadhi and higher stages of samadhi, subtle kleshas are removed. As soon as the kleshas are removed, the distinction between Purush and Prakriti is known, which is called as Purusha Khyati. And to get this liberation, Viveka Khyati, that is a unshakable distinction between Drashtu and Drishya, is required. And then when unshakable discriminative knowledge or Viveka Khyati takes place, there are 7 kinds of ultimate insight come. When these 7 insights will come, then one knows that discriminative knowledge is complete. These 7 insights should be studied in the commentaries. So one should know these 7 insights. Saptadha Pranta Bhumi Prajna. Now, when one practices Yogangalushtara Ashadikshaye Jnanadiptira Viveka Khyate. That means when the Yogangas are ardently practiced, that is the 8 limbs are ardently practiced, then Viveka Khyati, that is the discriminative knowledge takes place. When discrimination takes place, the liberation takes place. So this sutra, which is 5.10, is original 2.28. योगांगानुष्ठानादशुद्धिक्षये ज्ञानदीप्तिराविवेकख्यातेः. Thus, in this prakaranam, it explains how to get the removal of sorrow. 5.11 Iti dukkha nivrutti prakaranam. Thus, removal of sorrow section text ends. Thank you so much. As you can see, it becomes more and more involved.